Hi, I'm Justin, and welcome to the Landis Look, where we take an inside look at the world of real estate. Today we're here with Mari, who is our visual coordinator, and she's going to help us take an inside look at getting your house staged to sell. So Mari, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. So for a lot of y'all who have sold houses with us, you've met Mari before, and if you see our pictures and our listings and you're like, man, those houses always look great, this is one of the main reasons why. And so today, what I wanted Mari to share with us is a little bit about what it takes to get your house ready, some of the trends we're seeing, and that sort of stuff. So first of all, Mari, when you go to people's houses, how much work do people have to do to get their house ready? Is it usually pretty close, or do people have a long way to go from how they actually live to what it needs to be to sell?
Well, it really actually runs the gamut. There are some people who it already looks like a magazine photo and they have to do very little. There are some people that need to step that up just a little bit and declutter closets and get rid of tchotchkes and stuff that are sitting out but then are pretty good. And then there are some people who have to move a lot of stuff out. They're packed to the gills, probably why they're moving in the first place.
Exactly. Yes. Which we don't want other people to see when they come to the house,
correct,
right?
Correct,
Yeah.
yes. So there are people that I say it's better just to go ahead and pack it up. You're going to have to pack it up anyway and get it out of there.
What are some of the most common things that basically everybody needs to do? Are there some things that you go into almost every house and it's almost always needs to be done?
Cleaning out closets.
And how do you want the closet? I mean, do you want the closet to be empty, to be half full? How do you want that to be?
About half full, probably, is a good starting point, and then getting things off of the floor. Like people use a lot of that area as storage for like luggage and tote bags and lots of shoes on the floors. So as much of that stuff as you can get out, the better, because you don't want it to, you don't want it to look like you're stuffed to the gills. It needs to be fresh and lots of empty space to slide clothes back and forth.
Yep.
And decluttering the tops of closets, your top shelves and stuff. So
yeah, it's interesting because a lot of this is psychology, and I know just from being in houses with thousands of buyers over the years, is that when you see a closet that's like that, you either get comments, man, there's no storage in this house. If it's completely empty, you get, I wonder if they put stuff in storage here. Like it starts to raise suspicion. But just the way you set it up, that's what you want. Is they're like, man, they're not even using all the storage in this house, which they were before you came over. But that's the impression we want to give to the buyer because that's the kind of thing that they want to see.
Correct. Exactly.
What are some of the hardest things to get people to do that you want them to do to get the house ready to sell, that you get the most pushback, or when you see the finished product, you're like, they didn't do that? What are some of the hardest things?
Probably painting, which to me is kind of crazy because I think it's the easiest way to freshen up a space, or changing out lighting. People seem to give a little bit of pushback on that too.
Would you say those are the two things as far as actually doing things to the house that get the biggest bang on the buck in most cases?
I think so, because even if you have somewhat dated furniture that we're going to have to work with, or dated cabinetry or something like that, if you change out some of your lighting, it'll kind of pull your eye to something that's fabulous in the room instead of pointing out some of the things that are maybe a little bit more out of style.
Yeah. So like we were saying, I mean, there's so much feel about it, and that is a way you come in and you're like, oh, I can see myself in here. This feels bright. This feels crisp. And a lot of times that's as simple as the paint and the fixtures. Yeah. Yep. So I'm super curious about this. So on the paint, and on what's in. So, I mean, it used to be like you can go in a house built in like 2004 and you're like, oh, beige walls, this house was built in 2004, right? And then things are gray and things are white. What are you seeing from a trend standpoint right now? I mean, what is in? What do the buyers want to see?
So lots of more neutral walls, like white walls, for more modern houses, and then some for more cottagey or traditional style homes, kind of more of a creamy color. Gray is still okay, but I think it's on its way out. White bathrooms are still on trend, I think.
I think they've basically been on trend for like 400 years, haven't they?
Right. I think they're a classic, and I don't think you can ever go wrong with that. I also don't think you can go wrong with a white kitchen.
Yep.
I think shaker cabinets are still great. They're a classic as well. Some things that I have been noticing in some of my design magazines is the return of wood cabinets, but they seem to be more blonde in color and lots of flat front cabinet doors.
Interesting.
So no grooves or detailing.
It's crazy how, I mean, it is kind of crazy how you can go in these houses over the years and you can say when it is. So I guess the gray that we've been calling it Grant Park Gray, which is where we sell a lot of houses, that so many houses have been painted over the last probably 4 or 5 years. Maybe you'll be able to go in those houses and be like, 2016, 2018, that's when this house was renovated. One thing, so hopefully y'all get a kick out of this because I thought this was hilarious. One of the things that I like to see, Benjamin Moore does a color of the year. Don't know if y'all know this. They just released their 2020 color of the year. Listen to the copy on this, and then I'll get Mari's take and see if we should all start painting our house on this. A fresh palette, a revitalized spirit. A soft, rosy hue blooming with potential. Benjamin Moore's Color of the Year 2020, First Light. It's the backdrop of a bright new decade. And it's pink. We'll put a link up there to this, but it's basically a pink. What do you think? Are we going to start seeing pink walls all over the place because of this?
I seriously doubt it. I don't think most guys are going to go for that. But I can see it in a baby's room.
Yeah.
I can see it in an office space. I don't think I'm going to see it too much in living room spaces. I don't think. Maybe more personalized spaces that only that person is really going to use. I mean, it's pretty, but I wouldn't use it.
Well, I have 3 daughters, so maybe I should just go with the whole upstairs of the house with this color. I think that would probably be a crowd favorite. So, all right. Well, Mari, we really appreciate you being here, and we appreciate all your help. I know a lot of folks who are listening appreciate your help as well, because it's been one of the reasons that we've had so much success helping people sell houses for great prices. And so if y'all have any design questions or thoughts, we'd love to interact with you on it. You can drop a comment below, or you can send us a private message like a lot of y'all do after these, and we'd love to help you out with your own specific questions. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
Thanks.